What's up, cowboy?
Do not hesitate.
Commander. We got no red race.
What's the plan?
Destiny.
GSL.
Don't get in my way. Now.
What's up, nerds? We're back.
Here we are.
Believe it or not, we're here in the game number 2. Or actually, I guess I should say set number 2 here. Beyond Lost to Rain.
Game 2, very disappointing.
Well, I would have liked to see that strat work, but, this is one of the things that's happening now in StarCraft 2 is these guys are just, they're, crossing their T's and dotting their I's.
That's right.
Dotting their lowercase J's, as they said in Wayne's World, I believe.
Putting a diagonal line through the 0. Make sure you know it's a 0 and not
man.
an O.
Yeah. Little slash for that 7 in case you're confused.
Sure.
Yeah. There you go.
They're writing their 2s with the loop instead of without the loop.
Oh, you got to do
looks
it
better.
Yeah, it just looks better.
In second grade, put a loop on that 2.
Here's a question. Do you have good handwriting?
Do I?
Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Yeah, I have. Really?
Mine's almost illegible.
No, I know. Oh, dude, I heard something crazy, actually.
Yeah?
It's the doctor's famous for having bad handwriting.
Yeah.
Now you can be put in jail if you don't write the prescription legibly because some people have actually given out prescriptions and the pharmacist reads it wrong.
Wow.
And gives the patient the wrong medication and kills them.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The more GSL you
I gotta
watch,
stop writing prescriptions.
the more you learn. All right, let's do this. Genius against Happy and GSL code S.
GSL. Welcome to GSL Abyssal City.
All right, let's do this. Excuse me. In the upper sorry. In the left corner of the map, we have our Terran player, very solid. Excuse me. His ID is
AGIM Happy.
Make fun of me while I'm clearing my throat. All right, and in the right corner of the map, we got our Protoss player, one of the smartest around, champion of the first BlizzCon that hosted StarCraft 2. His ID is
Slayer's Genius.
With a player like Genius, I'm not surprised at all that Slayers picked this guy up. He totally plays like a Slayers player.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a lot of thought behind his play. Smart guy. That's why his ID is Genius.
He's a bright guy.
Yeah.
And, funny thing about the Genius guys, because I know not everybody watched the early days of GSL, but everybody was afraid of this guy to the point where I think in our first season when he lost in an upset, all the players were like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah.
Thank God Genius is out.
They were
of this.
pretty sure he'd win it.
Yeah.
Him and MC were pretty revered as far as Protoss went. No one else really stacked up. So, about this map, a few things. Abyssal City. A lot of people apparently are feeling like this is a map where it's really hard to beat Protoss.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing this map all that much. Happy that we get to see it here, though. It's funny. Seed actually thought that it was really hard for Protoss Reserve when I talked to him about it. So, we'll have to see. Over time, the balance of maps can change as people understand it better.
If I could chime in on that, I think one of the reasons why he might find that hard is if you look at the way it's shaped. Let's take the position of the Terran here. Let's just pretend it's a Zerg for a second. You see how he expands down?
Yes.
The Protoss, the way the Protoss is going to expand, he's never going to be close to the Zerg's expansion. And in fact, it's probably easier for the Zerg. Let's say that Zerg's on the left, Protoss on the right. Probably easier for Zerg to take that top location,
yeah,
the top expansion, than it is for the Protoss to take the bottom.
Very much so.
Does that make sense?
I completely agree with that. That is.
This is like the way I always try to view like large maps in StarCraft 2 is like the pace of expansions, how you actually grow on the map, because regardless of the opener, eventually you are going to run out of money as long as you're still in the game. Yeah, that's the way I feel, Artosis. Yeah, those are my feelings.
Well, you know what?
You can't change
I'm
that.
going to validate those feelings for you.
Thank you.
I agree with a lot of what you just said. It's very smart. Very well said. One thing to point out, I think this map is supposed to be underwater. There's like a bunch of coral, there's bubbles, there's
it's got this kind of aquatic theme to it.
Yeah, and so, well, the good thing about that for Genius is that means that we're not going to see any Hellion play from Happy.
Yeah.
Because you can't have fire underwater.
The Hellions just don't work. They're just little race cars that drive around.
That's it. So that's pretty helpful for Genius to be able to count out an entire unit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is if you cast a Side Storm on this map, everybody on the entire level dies.
Ooh.
Yeah,
so he'll probably open with Colossus unless he wants to draw.
Yeah, exactly.
So
see, I can play this game.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yes, I guess so.
Did you ever mess with the map maker in StarCraft 2? Because
No,
I did not.
No. I haven't done anything except play with
You know what I was actually thinking for a long period of time I wanted to do? So I wanted to make a tasteless UMS.
Yeah.
Where you just like play as tasteless.
And what does tasteless do?
Well, he goes to the GSL and he plays video games and he drinks. And
That's pretty good.
He makes, yeah.
I'd play that game.
It's a good game, right? Yeah. Watch out, Dota.
I'd probably be better at being tasteless than you.
No.
Yeah.
No, man. Watch you do it. I'm like, oh, I got to make my own Artosis UMS and I can't tell you about it. I got to master it.
All right, Genius is actually going straight into a 4-gate here.
He's going to do some pressure.
Wait a minute. He doesn't have a probe out on the map.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, to go into 4 gates and then not have a probe on the map.
Run across the map, yeah.
Okay, he is sending out a probe at the moment, and he has a lot of sentries sitting at home. He doesn't want to show the sentries. He's clearing the path with his Stalker. The sentries will fall behind, so he is, in fact, going to go ahead and 4-gate. He's going to do one warp in at home, and then the next one perhaps at the pylon.
I think this pylon's a little bit off with the timing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think it is a little bit off. The gates should cool down before the pylon is ready, I believe. Wait, what did he warp in now? Maybe he warped in mostly sentries. 2 sentries, Stalker, Zealot. Well, as this finishes up, he'll be ready for his next warp in. And the SCV sees it.
The pylon tells it all, especially the fact that the sentries are actually out of the map this time of the game.
Now he's warping in 4 Zealots. Here we go, Tasteless. Going to be able to throw up a Guardianship. Ooh, he's going to be careful. He almost lost a sentry there.
Here we go.
That's right, and these SCVs in the front going out very, very quickly. It looks like he may kill that bunker as well.
Oh, that was
Weird
really bad force field there.
Yeah,
actually, that force field might have cost. That was like the most failed force field.
And he had just salvaged it. He salvaged that. I can't even believe that force field or the fact that Happy somehow got to salvage a bunker that should have been dead for a while.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So Genius in some trouble here.
Genius totally screwed that up, man.
Yeah.
He totally screwed that up. It was funny, too, because it looked like that attack was possibly going to break him. And then he just, like, random force, but he's like, I don't want my Zealots to do this.
Yeah. He's like, oh my god, Zealots are attacking my bunker. So he force fielded. Then he realized it's not his
He's like, wait a
bunker,
minute, I'm
and they're
Protoss.
his Zealots.
He's like, I guess that's why I can force field because I'm Protoss.
Yeah. It's kind of messed up, actually. All right, so, I mean, this is kind of painful for Genius. He has 2 pylons out there that are going to die for free now. He's done no damage. He's going to have to go home. He is going for Double Forge and Twilight Tech with the Templar Archives. Now, will he follow this up? Well, I guess... Wait a minute. No, he didn't get the same forge. I'm sorry. I thought I saw him put another forge. He might just follow this up with, like, the 8 Warp Gate, +2 armor, Zealot, Archon, Storm all in. Definitely a possibility.
Pylon's down. And the game's going to go on, but... Wait, he didn't have a robo at all?
No.
We're not missing a robo
completely.
Okay.
Not very common nowadays, but, it's going to work out fine this time.
This is kind of like a form of, like, how do I say this? It's like hyper teching. It's like you just cut out part of the tech to get your other tech way ahead.
Hyper tech.
Is that a good word?
Well, I guess it's a little bit better than super duper teching.
Well, I don't know, man. Super Duper Tekken is pretty sick.
All right, so Side Storm.
No, I guess you'd say tech leaping. That's reasonable.
Leapfrogging?
No, tech leaping.
He skipped his.
It's not a
He
bob.
skipped his Twilight to get into the the Templar Archives. That's the leapfrog.
He skipped the robo.
Yeah,
It's not a standard progression of tech.
that's true. I'm just teasing you.
I'm very sensitive.
I see that.
You know that, man.
I'm sorry. All right, 2 more gates. Yep, looks like he's following this up with a little all-in. A little all-in action. Going to be 8 gates. Will he actually wait for +2 armor? Will he go for that +2 armor? We will see. I don't think... Yeah, I guess he does start it right away. All right, so a nice scan goes down. He sees that is Templar tech, but that doesn't necessarily tell him. It's hard for him to say exactly. Oh my God, we have a big drop coming, Tasteless. But
I'm actually so surprised. I see what he's doing. He's going to try to park everything behind the minerals here.
Yeah, look at that.
And look at that. That is actually... That could not have been more owned right there.
Yeah, that was. But the thing is, he got out of there alive. I would have loved to see some feedbacks. At least one feedback or one more storm on those medevacs, but it was not meant to be. So he's going to want to chrono boost through his armor, just most ASAPly, and get this attack going, Tasteless. There's only one bunker up for Happy right now, so Happy could be in some trouble here.
All right, he's on the run here. It's funny because I think Happy would have been fine had he not done that drop. I see the intelligence behind it landing the factory there, but when Storm's out, that's actually like exactly what Protoss wants. All right, well, Genius is not stopping here.
Look at this nice attack down in this 3rd base area.
Oh, nice reaction. So he just actually goes straight up. He says, "All right, next." All right.
Airplays using his charge up with things he doesn't want to. And we have a lot of High Templars in here. That's a lot of Guardian Shield as well. And watch these storms. Oh my God, very powerful attack here by Genius.
Really nice storms. Beautiful arc there. Every storm is paying off here.
That's right, he just needs another Warpin, and that's exactly what he's doing. 8 more Zealots on their way.
Wow, he just actually steamrolled him.
Yeah, he just completely crushed him. A very powerful all-in here from Genius. This is one of the most powerful timing attacks in the game, and yes, indeed, GG Tasteless. That, really well done. You know, he failed badly on that 3-gate, and it wasn't the biggest deal in the whole wide world, but, you know, it's not good to fail like that. And going straight into that +2 armor rush, getting the Psy Storm and a ton of charge loss off 8 gates. Happy should have been a little bit more aware of what was going on. Like, if you basically want to try to drop the main and stuff, when you see that Templar Archives, try to count the gates. If you can count 8, build about 10 bunkers, because that's what you're going to need.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this, because, okay, here's an example of this. I'm going to bring up from StarCraft 1, because we're finding at this point in time where people have got these builds figured out. In Protoss and StarCraft 1, there was a trick where you would DT rush and expand and not get a cannon or get a robo.
Yeah.
And is that safe? No. Because, well, what if they DT rush you? Then you lose automatically. But and it's like a tech leap. Okay, you're cutting out a huge part of what you're supposed to have to get an advantage, to get an edge. And that's what Genius did here. Is why did he run over the Terran back there? What actually happened? He didn't get a robo. He just made a bunch of gates. He has no intel, okay?
Yeah.
He literally does not know what the Terran's doing inside of his base. So he says, all right, if you're playing too moderately, I just beat you.
Yeah. And, you know, if he gets scouted, if Happy actually does, like, instead of 3 medevac drop behind a mineral line of someone who has High Templars, instead he, like, drops in the main and drops in the natural and then just kind of runs around and sees if he can see anything, or does a big scan in the main. He did 1 scan only that game. And finds out what's going on. He can do things like make a wall of depots with bunkers behind it, and suddenly Genius's huge amount of investment into this does nothing.
Exactly.
Best he can do is expand and hope to be able to somehow get even with the Terran economy.
Absolutely. All right.